Hey guys, it's Miss K. I'm an English teacher by day. By night, I read a heck of a lot of books, and I started a YouTube channel to share my thoughts and opinions with you on the books that I have read. Today, we are reviewing a very popular book that's blowing up on social media, and that is House of Beating Wings by Olivia Wildenstein. Now, this is a very popular book that's blowing up on social media. However, when I read it, I can tell you right now, I was not impressed. But before we get into the details of it, let's go over the 3 must-haves that any good piece of literature entails. 1 is character. If you do not have adequate character development and a character profile from beginning to end of the book, then your characters will be flat, one note, and they will not act like real people. 2 is world building. This is the universe that your characters live in. And the 3rd one can overshadow both of the others if not done correctly. That is style, word choice, and vocabulary. If you don't have the ability to actually say what you want to say, it doesn't matter how good of an idea it is. Doesn't matter how complex character you have. It doesn't matter if the world is the best that's ever been in existence. If you can't say what you want to say, then it doesn't matter. With that, let's get into The House of Beating Wings by Olivia Wildenstein. I know I'm mispronouncing her name. I apologize in advance. House of Beating Wings is a high fantasy novel. Right up my alley. Love that about this novel. It does deal with the Fae again. And as we all know, the Fae have been kind of on the negative side of things for me. I haven't read a book yet where I actually loved the Fae. And this was no exception. I really wanted it to be an exception to the rule, but it was a disappointment. So in this book, House of Beating Wings, you have a magical fantasy world with a bunch of islands. These people are located on a lot of islands. So humans occupy an island that is incredibly impoverished. Nobody goes there. Fae don't go there. Fae stay on their really rich, powerful island. They are the kings and queens. They control the government. They have all the money. And then you have the half-breeds that are a human-fae mix. They are treated just as poorly as humans, but they don't live in incredible poverty. And that is on a separate island altogether. Now, that is where our main character lives. Her name is Fallon, and she is half fairy, half human. Now, she has a lot of potential. She has a gift where she can talk to sea snakes and serpents and all manner of creatures. However, she is somehow forbidden to use that. Her grandmother that lives with her forbids her to use it. Her grandmother is fully fae. Her mother, she is fully fae as well, but her mother has a lot of serious mental health issues and really isn't there half the time. So because of her mother's infidelity with a human lover, thus producing Fallon, they've all kind of had to stay in the halfling aisle. This book got rave reviews on Goodreads, but unfortunately, I didn't like it. I got about 100 pages in, folks. I got about 100 pages in, chapter 15, and I had to stop. It wasn't working for me. When you have a female character that you can't get behind, or any character, male or female for that matter, if you can't get behind that character, then you're going to lose your reader very quickly. The fantasy world and the world building in this book is spectacular. Olivia Wildenstein does great with her world building, but it is her characters where we fall short. Fallon is 22 years old, I believe, but sometimes I question, is she 22 or is she just like 12? Because she acts that way. She has no spine. She doesn't stand up for what she wants. She is a grown woman, and yet she is treated like a child, and she allows others to treat her like a child. Despite saying she wants to be treated like a grown-up, she makes no effort to change that. She has this magical gift to talk to creatures, but she is forbidden to use it and doesn't question her grandmother as to why she's forbidden to use it. She has multiple love interests in this particular one. She has a general that's fae that is hitting on her that she doesn't want anything to do with. She kisses Anthony, who is half fae, half human, and she is basically just using him for some purpose. I'm not exactly sure, because her mind is occupied with the Fae Prince Dante, completely occupied with Dante. So that immediately turns me off of a female character when she can't seem to make up her mind and doesn't have a solid direction in her life. Now, one day when Antony and Fallon and a couple of their friends from the tavern are on the human island getting reasonably drunk. A fortune teller, her name is Brownin, I'm sure I'm pronouncing her name wrong, walks up to Fallon and says, "Free the crows, Fallon, and they will make you queen." Well, Fallon doesn't immediately know what to do with that prophecy, but the first thing she thinks of is Dante. Oh, I'm going to free a bunch of crow statues that are all hidden on the Fey Island, and I'm going to give Dante his crown. He will overthrow his brother, and I will become queen. That is not what the fortune teller said. All the fortune teller said was, "Free the crows, Fallon, and they will make you queen." And yet Fallon somehow believes that the crows are statues, that they are somehow sequestered on the Fey Island, that she somehow means Dante, and that she somehow means queen of this Fey land. Because there are other lands beyond just this kingdom. And yet she doesn't even question it. And so this ultimately is what turned me off of the book, and I stopped at chapter 15 because despite being how many chapters are in here? A lot of chapters. Let's see how many chapters are in here. Chapter 78. 78 chapters, ladies and gentlemen, and I only made it to 15. That says something. When you have slow plot development, because this is moving very slowly. After 100 pages and 15 chapters, we're just now getting to the inciting incident. That's fine. But when you have slow plot development, as a writer, you need to make sure that your characters are engaging and developing and gripping enough that your readers want to hang in there with you through the slow plot development. There are 2 other books in this series. I will not be reading them because I couldn't get past 100 pages in this book. And that is a big no-go for me. So what rating would I give House of Beating Wings by Olivia Wildenstein? I would give this a 4 out of 10. I'm sure that there are some people who will watch this video and say, "I loved that book. It was fantastic. My goodness. I don't understand. Maybe you should have read more than 100 pages. If you can't grip the reader in the first 100 pages, in the first couple chapters, they're not going to want to move on. And that is what happened for me. So this is a book that I could not finish, can't get behind the characters, still don't like the Fae. Is there some unspoken rule about Fae perpetually being jerks and perpetually being rich, perpetually having all the power? Because that's exactly what has happened in every Fae novel that I have read so far. So I am waiting for that one novel with Fae in it to prove me wrong. So if you liked this video, make sure you hit the like button. If you have something to say, please make sure you comment in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time the new video drops. Until next time, guys, I'm Miss K. Happy reading. Keep dancing with the devil, but it is alive.